I just found out my sister is dating my fiancé right after he got back from a work trip to her city. I'm heartbroken. Yep, this is exactly what it sounds like. I, 22 female, am engaged to my fiancé John, 25 male, for the past 6 months, and we've been dating since my freshman year of university. I was 17 and he was 20. These past 5 years of dating have been amazing, and John's always been the perfect gentleman and the best boyfriend. He's kind, takes me on dates, and has been showering me with gifts, especially after becoming engaged. My parents met him 2 years after we started dating, but my sister Sarah, 24 female, has never met him as she lives in the UK. Last month, John had to go to the UK for work, as he had a deal to work out, and in my head, I thought about telling him to stay with Sarah, but since we aren't on the best terms, I didn't tell John anything about Sarah living in the UK. John's trip was originally scheduled for 3 weeks, but he extended his trip by 2 weeks to get some more work done and I accepted it. After all, he's been nothing short of perfect, and this was the least I could do. John returned 2 months ago, and since then, he'd been acting very different. He wanted to take me on more dates, get me more things, but with my college schedule, it was all incredibly hectic, but he wasn't taking no for an answer. A week ago, we had a family gathering for my parents' 40th anniversary, and my sister was in attendance, which was a big deal, because she didn't come to the US very often. When she came, I was already there, but John was at work, so he was coming a bit later. When Sarah met me, she was uncharacteristically happy to see me, but I entertained it. She kept telling me about this wonderful guy that she met, and how happy she was, and how handsome he was, and basically just singing his praises. Sarah's always been prettier and more popular than me, though she was a bit psycho at times, so I wasn't surprised to see that she had been dating a guy like that. When I asked her about the status of their relationship, she almost immediately became peeved, and rolled her eyes, and started talking about all the things that he was gifting her. I asked her where he was currently, and she said that he lived in the US and had come to the UK for work. I asked her for how long, and she said a bit more than a month. Okay, weird. All of those things could chalk up to be coincidences, though, so I just silently nodded and let her gloat, but inside I was a bit apprehensive. It all went to crap when John arrived. When I opened the door for him, Sarah went berserk, screeching his name, going up to him, hugging him, and kissing him all over his face, like some kind of crazy girlfriend. John didn't reciprocate at all, but he definitely knew who she was, glared at her and pulled her off of him before walking towards me. I just left the party, and I am still so mad that I can barely contain myself. I changed the lock to my apartment, blocked him everywhere, and I am staying with a few friends currently. I can't bring myself to believe it. I always thought John and I were perfect for each other, and after some digging, my sister had been working in the same office that he had been working at in the UK. Was it some kind of office fling? I don't even want to think about him anymore, and I am just devastated. Edit. After some conversation in the comments, we have discerned that since my sister follows me on Instagram, and I have posted about my fiancé there, she knew that we were engaged. I don't know if Sarah and John worked in the same company, I only know that they worked in the same office building. It's not a stretch, but I don't have those facts yet. Also, sorry if it wasn't clear before, but John probably does know what Sarah looks like, from childhood photos and what I show him on social media, and she has been a connection of his on LinkedIn. I'm going to be contacting Sarah and asking her how she knows John. Update. Hi everyone. It's really nice to see all the support I've gotten from everyone who commented on my post, but the consensus was that I should talk to John. I did, and 3 months ago, we had a heart-to-heart conversation about what happened in London. John told me that Sarah somehow found out his place of work, tried stalking him, and telling all his London co-workers that they were in a relationship, getting her invited to pubs with them, etc. John said that her behavior was very disturbing and that was why he was so fazed when he saw her here, he just didn't expect it. Honestly, I feel horrible. My fiancé was going through something that I couldn't even imagine and I iced him out for a week because of my own insecurities regarding my sister. I truly do love him so much, but this feels like a hurdle that we cannot get over. Even though it's been 3 months, the guilt still eats away at me, and it's tough to think that I was the bad person in the situation, but it's true. John and I took it a bit slower. We went on a break for a month and got back together a month and a half ago. I don't know where we stand anymore. It's like our relationship has gone back to the early days of us being awkward 17 and 20-year-olds, and it's not a place I want to be in with him. I've completely cut Sarah and my parents out of my life. John encouraged me to do so, as they were all incredibly toxic, and I'd like to think that we are slowly building our relationship back up again. It's tough, and I'm not going to lie. All in all, I'm heartbroken, and I feel like I've lost all the trust that he had in me. I didn't think that what I did was truly irrational, but looking back and from a conversation with John, I realized that I was the one in the wrong, and it's been hard to admit to myself. John went on a few half-dates with a co-worker of his before we got back together, and I can't even bring myself to feel pained about it. He's expressed before that it's lucky that we're getting a chance together again, and I don't want to mess that up. We've been dating for 5 years, and I don't want to throw it all away by being a jealous person, so I hope that this post brings the closure that the other post needed.